All right, today you're going to be working with and finding the slopes of lines. And the formula for the slope of a line. Which is referred to M in the slope intercept formula. It's equal to your y sub 2 minus your y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So in the first part of your assignment today, you're going to be asked to find the slope of a line. So and you're going to be given a couple of points, or you're going to have to pick some points off of a coordinate plane. But you should all know how to do that by now. So let's say that you're going to find the slope of a line, and the points are -2, 3, and 1, -3. The best thing for you to do is to write the coordinates of the points down first and then label the coordinates. So this -2, 3 could be or is your x sub 1 and your y sub 1. And then the coordinates of the second point would be your x sub 2 and your y sub 2. And then you take those values and you substitute them into the slope formula. So your M is going to be equal to, in this case, you would have -3 minus 3 divided by 1 minus -2. Now, you got to be careful when you're dealing with with negative coordinates, because the slope formula is subtraction. Okay, and in this case, with your x sub 2 minus your x sub 1, you're subtracting a negative. And when you subtract a negative, you keep, and then you change, and you change. All right, keep, change, change. You keep the first number the same, you change the symbol, and you change the sign. So the slope of this line is going to be equal to -3 minus 3 is -6. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And -6 divided by 3 is -2. So the slope of your line is -2. A couple of other things that you need to know about these lines is that if a line goes up and to the right, if the line goes up and right, it's got a positive slope. Lines that go up and left they have a negative slope. Lines that are horizontal they have 0 as a slope. Now, 0 as a slope is when there's a 0 in the numerator. All right, so, like 0 over 1, Could be 0 over 2. It's 0 over anything. 0 in the numerator is a 0 slope. All right, 0 over 10. 0 in the numerator is a 0 slope. The line is horizontal. The fourth line is a vertical line. Now, vertical lines have what's called an undefined slope. Now, an undefined slope is when you have a 0 in the denominator. So any number over 0, that slope is undefined. Okay, 1 over 0, 2 over 0, 10 over 0. If you try to type that in your calculator will give you an error message. And the error message means undefined. All right, so 4 different types of lines and what their slope is. And in the second part of your assignment today, you're going to be asked to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So let's write this down, that parallel lines have the same slope. All right, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have slopes. That are negative reciprocals. So negative reciprocals would look something like 1/2 and negative 2 over 1 are negative reciprocals of each other. Negative meaning they have opposite signs. Reciprocals meaning the fraction is flipped. So can anybody tell me what the reciprocal of negative 3/4 would be? Positive 4/3. Very good. All right, so if one line has a slope of negative 3/4 and another line has a slope of positive 4/3, those lines would be perpendicular. Perpendicular means they intersect at 90 degrees. So you're going to be asked to determine whether line AB and line CD are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. And let's say that your points are, point A is at 1, 1. B is at -1, -5. C is at 3, 2. And D is at 6, 1. what you do is you find the slope of both of the lines and then just compare the slopes. So you've got this line AB here, and just like you found the slope of a line before, you're going to do the same thing. You just have to do it twice. Here's your x sub 1 and your y sub 1, and your x sub 2 and your y sub 2 for your first line. For your second line, CD, this is your x sub 1 and y sub 1, and your x sub 2 and your y sub 2. So we're going to find the slope of AB. So the M is going to be equal to -5 minus 1 divided by -1 minus 1. So -5 minus 1 is -6. -1 minus 1 is -2. So the slope of this line would be +3. Put the food away, please. The slope of this second line is going to be 1 minus 2 divided by 6 minus 3. 1 minus 2, -1. And 6 minus 3 is 3. So the slope of the second line is -1/3. So then you compare the two slopes. One line has a slope of 3. The other line has a slope of -1/3. And since 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1, what are the lines? Are they parallel? Do they have the same slope? No, so they're not parallel. Are their slopes negative reciprocals? Yes, they are. So these two lines are perpendicular. Got it? The beginning of the assignment, you're going to just be finding the slope of one line. And the second part of the assignment, you're going to be finding the slope of two lines and then comparing the slope to determine whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So your assignment for today is on page 193. Problems 18 through 25. And 28 through 33. Say again? Yeah, 18 to 25, and then 28 through 33. Go. Just whatever you got to do, go do it.